experience, I see. Yeah.
Hey Brent, you're at practice number 8.
Yeah.
What do you think of your football team so far?
It's been fun. Really like the group of guys. They've worked really hard competing and straining. I see a lot of strain. I see a lot of competition across the board. You can go through every position group and talk about competition. And got a few guys banged up, the normal bumps and bruises, but I've really appreciated guys having the right mindset, showing up with a mindset of improving, getting better between meetings and walkthroughs and the actual on-the-field play. Whatever it is, whatever percentage it is, we're further along, and you would expect that to happen, but it has to come from intentionality and the work that these guys put in. And see a little more confidence in the number of guys, and certainly we have 26 new players, not including semester walk-ons, that are maybe not quite as confident as they will be by the end of fall camp, but getting better every day, still installing through 8 practices, and continue to try to strain them mentally and physically, all of it. That's an important part of building our team, and then to developing the leadership, of the team. And that doesn't just happen by accident either. So we got to do a great job as a staff. Continue to put that as one of the most important things that we get accomplished is developing the leadership, putting guys in position to where they're uncomfortable, and again, got to be bold and courageous. The best teams that we've been on are driven by great leadership, and this team will be no different. Not an exception. So excited to see the leadership to continue to grow and develop as well. But getting better physically and fundamentally on both sides of the ball. And again, got some really good young freshmen that just showed up here, or again, some of the transfers that have we feel like are going to make us better as well from a competition standpoint, a depth standpoint, mindset, bringing guys that in here that are team-centered and have the humility and the willingness to go to work every day. That's been fun to see that organically transpire as well.
Brent,
you mentioned the bumps and bruises. How's Javante Barnes doing with soccer?
He's good. Yeah, I know he had a little surgery to just something from high school that just bothered him. Just fighting through it. His first year or so here, and just thought this would be a good time to clean that up. And he's shown we practiced in the first few practices, and wanted to get him a jump start on the summer from a healing standpoint.
Sorry, you mentioned physicality going into spring drills. Are you seeing it? Is it where you want to be midway through spring drills?
It's never like I'm satisfied with never being satisfied. Okay, satisfied with being unsatisfied. I've got this expectation and standards that are so high that I know that we're never gonna get to where I would like to get. So you just go back after it every single day, and so it literally is never good enough. But we're getting better, and again, you're working on the consistency, so guys will grow and they get better, and then maybe have a day that it wasn't as good as it was the day before. We practiced really good, really well on defense on Monday. In a lot of areas, and not quite as good on offense on Monday, and then today offense was a lot better in some areas, and again defensively not as good in some areas. So when we're really where we need to be, we're going to be consistent, and we're going to show up every day, and it's going to be a 50-50 kind of practice where it's more even. So we're working on that, and we've had a few days that are like that, but we need more days like that. And tomorrow we're going to meet early and in the morning, and then we'll scrimmage with the guys, and we've been working on a lot of situational football, a lot of third downs, fourth downs, 2-minute, red zone, P&10, play second down, second and long, play third down. Just trying to create a lot of situational football for these guys, getting them to think the right way. We got to play, with more football intelligence, and so we can't put those learning opportunities to learn the game of football in front of them, enough. So.
Are you able to do some of the situational work maybe a little bit more than you could a year ago when everything's new and you're
Yeah, I
having
think
to,
that's fair to say. The emphasis isn't as much on how we do what we do, even though that's never not a priority. The tempos of practice, our effort, our accountability, what the expectations are. But there's no question that we can emphasize a little more situational football as a result of having a team that has some, returning experience where a year ago everybody was new.
Brent, the open practices we've got this season, you've had obviously a ton of interaction with the linebackers. I wanted to get your assessment of where those guys are at this stage of practice.
Yeah, it's better. I'm just trying to create as much game-like experience for those guys in the best way you can, and stress them and teach them. And man, it's a really hungry group of guys. They've been fantastic in the meeting room. Our knowledge, the depth of our knowledge, even with guys that haven't played a substantial role, is really good. I've been pleased with that. I don't think that could be better than what it is today. And now it's got to translate to the field, and nonstop. And you're gonna go your way to the top. That's what I let these guys know. Because again, as I've said before, improving, that whole process of improving can be incredibly tough and discouraging. And you want guys to stay in a great space mentally through it all. But the most successful people, the highest achievers, they fail their way to the top, and that's a hard thing for anybody, adult or young people, to understand, and then especially when you're dealing with young guys that have had a lot of success playing the game. And again, it's a lot of little things. Maybe I stepped with the wrong foot, false step, and I still made the play, but he gained 4 yards. But if you step with the right foot, man, you're playing behind your pads, and it's a 1-yard gain. And that's the difference, as we know. We got punished last year, the difference between winning and losing. So that's a very, very small margin for error. Our guys have improved fundamentally from where we were a year ago, and our football intelligence at linebacker has been really good. Still, again, don't have great depth there, but like the improvement that we've seen, top to bottom, from that group.
We've seen James Skalski work with that group too. What has he brought, especially as a guy that knows what you're looking for?
He knows it from a player standpoint. All right, so he can be the good cop nonstop, and maybe sometimes when you receive it from Coach Skalski, it's received even better. They might be more, and again, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe it's more fatalistic if it comes from me, but when it comes from Jamie, it can. It's a different perspective, a different tone. From a player's standpoint, Jamie's. I don't even know what he's saying, but I know whatever he's saying is right. And that's what when you're in an environment that you're in 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years somewhere. Now all the older guys are just like a bunch of Skalskis out there, man. They're nurturing all the things that we're talking about, from a learning, the mental, the physical, how you work, all of those things. How to know the coach, how to deal with the coach as well. And but he's you don't have to coach him. He is literally another coach on the field. He's 3 and 4 steps ahead of it all the time, and so that's a really invaluable thing to have, just because of his depth of experience in our language and in the system, and then how guys learning that quickly. So guys really trust him.
Of your newcomers, we see a lot of new faces out here on the defense. How are they picking everything up, especially those incoming freshmen? How fast are these things coming, and are there anyone that really stands out on the defense right now?
Yeah, it'll be hard because I'll start naming some, then somebody's going to get left out. But been super pleased with the group as a whole. Obviously Peyton was missed some time, and a terrible deal that their death and the family that his family's had to deal with, and the thing is, it's not like, well, okay, that happened and now it's over, now he can get back to it's life, and so helping him continue to manage that. Our guys have done a great job of loving on him and encouraging him and being there for him, and But as I said before, he's got really good natural feel for the game, can play in multiple spots. You don't normally want to do that. Not only has a skill set, but football doesn't overwhelm him. But we want to make sure that he can be precise and detailed in what he's doing as well. We've got really good competition there at safety, so he's helping that way, and so is Reggie. And but we got good, veteran leadership there too between Key Lawrence and Billy Bowman, amongst others. Robert Spears, we went ahead and had a shoulder surgery with him a day or so yesterday, so he'll be out the rest of spring, and so we can get him back, by fall camp. It just became so bothersome that he needed to get it done now, and but he's having a really good, strong spring. But really like, again, the young guys up front. Thinking about PJ, he can really run. It's his birthday today, and then Ashton Sanders is a super athletic inside guy. He's got a lot of bounce. He's going to be a really good player. Derek LeBlanc, is, again, really understands football, just working on pad level. A lot of those young guys, they want to see where the ball is. And but our transfers on the D line, Devon has done some really good things. He's athletic, and still just getting him to learn everything. And then Rondell has really had a good, strong first 8 days. He's physical and he's experienced, and certainly still working on learning everything, but has been really good. And Deshaun McCullough's he's just getting better every day, and we've worked him both outside and then up closer to the line of scrimmage, and so teaching him all the ins and outs of that. He's been really good, and he's just got the right mindset. He's got humility, and he's super just coachable. He's very tough-minded, coach's kid, and he's hungry to learn. Been really pleased with his progress, as well as another quote-unquote young guy. Phil Piccotti's played really good behind the ball. He's learning how to control his body. He was a runaway train the first few days of mat drills, and how to control. He's got a big old body, and now, man, he is. Again, he's not where he's going to be, soon, but he is in a much different place than he was when we started in January. So really excited about his big athletic body. We got some young guys there again too at linebacker. Kobe's really made some improvement, in all the ways that you got to, and Kip Lewis as well. Got to continue to get weight on him. Shane Witter's we're working him in more and more at linebacker. May not go full speed with him and risk, but he's really done a nice job getting back closer to healthy. And then again, I really like our young corners. Makari has been really good in learning. You got to get beat. You got to make some mistakes. Got to get beat so you learn. And the precision in college is better than the precision typically in high school, just like the precision in the NFL is better than what it is in college. And so learning, what you can and can't get away with. And Kendall Dolby, and he's a fierce competitor, plays big. And then Josiah Wagner, got a little bit of a pull in his hip flexor, but man, he's been fantastic. Not real big right now, but he plays really big. Really understands football, loves to compete. Got a great mindset, great attitude. Those guys are really competitive at corner. Had some other guys banged up at corner. Hopefully we'll get some guys back there. And as you know, man, it's a developmental time. Every rep counts, every day counts. Some guys get thinking about the season, man. These are the days right here that you build your foundation for your season. And defense is trained reaction. This is a game on both sides of the ball that your fundamentals should show up under stress, and you develop that now. You're developing great habits every day, or not so great habits. So I'm trying to think on offense. Really Caden Green and Josh Bates in particular. Those guys have had a really good spring, and they've been baptized, but with all the looks and the speed and the power of guys, but I mean those guys they're gonna be really good players. Love how they work and compete, and they're really coachable, smart guys, tough. Jake Taylor's he's done some really good things at tackle this spring. Some of the guys being banged up there, it's really helped us take a good hard look at guys there, and continue to develop Nate Anderson inside at center as well with Rame and Josh. Really like where Parks and Savion are, along with Schaefer. He's going to really be able to help us, most likely inside there. And then, Tyler Guyton and who's my other tackle? Well, not Walter. Walter's been slowly getting back into, working.
Parks?
But Parks working at tackle are really having a good spring, a really good spring. Just more and more comfortable there, and guys will learn how to compete and fight. And it's been fun, and probably his best day for Stogner today. Really excited about what he's able to do, and we've been banged up there at tight end. So we got to get some guys healthy there, and then at wideout, really like that group of guys. It's a deeper group of guys. We got some young guys, some old guys, and between Farouk and Stoops, LV, and then you look outside, guys like JG and Anderson. Those guys have been really, really good, and then you throw in speed that Anthony can bring to the table, and he's hungry and super coachable. That's been fun to see that. And then I left off
DJ.
DJ's been he had a quad strain, so he missed 4 practices. So he's just trying to get back into. But Freeman has been really outstanding too. Through the first 8 practices. So that's been that group. I've really between Freeman taking the next step, and Andrell really being able to step in and learn what we're doing, and his speed has really shown up. And then Anderson and JG in particular as young guys. JJ's a little bit banged up, so we had to shelf him for a few days. But he was having a really good first 4 days prior to that. We really need, that to continue to, develop.
On Monday, it looked like Gentry.
Hasn't done much for you guys. He's got the blue jersey on.
He's doing a lot of footwork and conditioning and walkthroughs.
Know him yet, or?
Oh yeah.
What do you like about him?
Oh man, he's just got a great attitude. He's got a thankful spirit to him. Really smart. He's a good teammate. He's got great perspective. A sharp guy. One of the reasons he wanted to come was he wanted to be challenged in a different way than what he was from a development standpoint, and he's gotten exactly that with Coach Biedenbow and Coach Schmitty. And but he's making improvement, in those areas, both in knowledge and what we're doing, and getting in shape as much as you can. Again, both physically and getting his, being able to run. So he had to, he was not able to run for, several weeks, after the surgery. But he's got a great, hungry, tough-mindedness to him, really good attitude, and he's plugged right in with his teammates, really effortlessly.
It looked like on Monday that Gentry was back, going through some drills. How's he looked?
He's looked good, he went through a little bit on Monday, and he went through more today. So I have to watch some of the good-on-good stuff that he did today. But he'll be fine. It's like riding a bike for him. He'll get back where he was quickly, and we expect him to really make that group better as well.
You mentioned a lot of the newcomers. What about Jackson and the running backs?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah. So Jackson has had a really good first couple of weeks. Really good. He's had some great throws. There's a lot of learning that he's doing, right now. Again, looks and pressure and, A lot of guys coming after him, different angles and whatnot. The coverages that he's seeing, I've been really pleased with him. He's thrown guys open. He's thrown with anticipation. He's made good decisions. He's made some tough decisions, do some bad decisions that he's had to, learn and grow from, as well. But love where he's at. He's beyond the learning curve when it comes to the mental side of it. Football's really easy for him, even at this level. There's some things from a learning standpoint that sometimes paralyze young players. It hasn't yet with him, and then he just got to put it all together. But Dylan had a great day today. Really looked really sharp today, and then that group of quarterbacks have all. It's a really good group of guys helping each other, and Jackson will be the first one to tell you those guys have helped him pick up, on things really quickly.
How much does the fact that you went through the whole big name quarterback coming in with Trevor Lawrence, how much experience do you take from what went through in your days at Clemson to how you treat this?
Whether it was Sam or it was, Deshaun or Trevor, a lot. And, the things that I always look for when things are going really fast and the good on good stuff, not, is there, are they able to, before we screwed up as coaches and teaching them too much and screwing it up for them, reacting on instinct, that's what you're looking for. Here comes the pressure, they know it's coming. Do they they cave in, or they stand there strong and they're delivering the ball? And we've seen that several times, both in Skelly and in 11 on 11. And then, of course, he brings an element, running the ball, making decisions on when to pull it down, when to keep your eyes down the field, extend plays. And so I've seen a little bit of all of that. And again, seen some great teaching moments, which is the natural progression as well. But, he's had a really good, strong couple of weeks, and there's some great opportunities to learn and grow. But the running backs, talking about the running backs, Caleb Hicks in particular, he's been healthy the whole time. We had a little hamstring with Smothers for a few days, but Hicks has done really well. He's had a really good, he catches the ball well, he's fearless, runs behind his pads, does a great job in blitz protection, and again, learning and whatnot, but he plays fast and plays with really good instincts and good pace to him, behind the line. And I know DeMarco's really excited about him. Sawchuk has looked really, really good. He's been really consistent. Picked up where, he left off from the Florida State game. Ran with really good, strong power and speed today. Really good.
There's been some discussion across college football about some coaches wanting to do like scrimmages with other teams, other universities. Is that something you would ever?
Is that the talk?
Is that what you would ever? Is that something you would ever want to do if they allowed that?
I mean, if everybody was doing it, we would do it. We got to learn to stop each other. But that would be kind of fun, I guess. If everybody was doing it, that would. Our interest at Oklahoma, our fans are going to show up. If I opened up practice, that stadium would get full.
Right.
We'd fill that damn thing up, right?
Right.
We do for the spring game, but if we filled it up on a weekend, on a Saturday, it's an aimless Saturday, that thing would get full. So people will be excited to watch our guys, compete no matter what. But is that the talk?
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we get the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys to come up here. Huh?
Thanks, Brent.